Hello fishheads, I'm Praygon and I'm not wearing any underwear. And here we are, back in Dear Esther. Just gonna slowly flow down this stream and check out the scenery again. How's everyone been doing today anyway? It's really, really warm here in England at the moment. Every single time I record I have to shut off all my fans and close the windows, otherwise you guys would hear all the cars going past because I live on a main street. So it is absolutely boiling in this room at the moment. So we're going to get through this and get this done as quickly as possible. And today we're making our way through the caves. And our final destination is the massive antenna that we've been able to see in the background throughout the entire game. Now why our main character, who hasn't actually been named yet, is making his way to this antenna is unknown. But it's obviously this trip through this island is some kind of spiritual journey for him to get over or relive the events of what happened to his wife dying, and he for some reason blames himself for it, even though it's established that a man named Donnelly was in fact a drunk driver who struck the car his wife was in and killed her. So perhaps what I'm thinking was he was driving and didn't see the driver, and he was the one that hit the other car, and he feels like deep regret for it. We're going to make our way through here. Oh, wow.
When I was coming round from the operation, I remember the light they shone in my eyes to check for pupil contraction. It was like staring up at a moonlit sky from the bottom of a well. People moved at the summit, but I could not tell if you were one of them.
Oh. So this game just has the most chilled out atmosphere you could possibly want from a game. Sitting through it. It's not exactly something you want to play if you're looking for being actiony or exciting, but it's like you've stepped into a series of paintings and you're reliving the story through them. Whoa, and now we've got some weird hieroglyphics. I have no idea what this is all about. It looks really cool. Whoa. What's that? What's it say? Way from being achy? Away from being achy.
I'm achy. I ache all over. I've got a boo-boo on my knee. It really hurts.
Oh, we got No, actually those are roots. They're silly Kieran. Silly Praygon, even. Not allowed to use your real name on YouTube. That'd be ridiculous. You always have to refer to yourself in the third person as well. Constantly. In fact, I think I'm going to start up like a guide to making Let's Plays. Rule number 1, refer to yourself in the third person and only ever by your username. That way people know you're legit. Oh, underground tunnels. The water. I'm trying to think what this reminds me of. Oh, I know what this reminds me of now. Skyrim. When you're going through all the caves and it constantly has these completely pointless submerged bits. And you sort of just make your way through, and the scenery in them is really, really nice as well. In fact, it kind of reminds me a lot of trekking through the caves in Skyrim. The amount of time you spend in those goddamn caves at the, what are they called? The undead guys that were Nord warriors that... Okay. Oh. Is this the motorway that his wife crashed on? Whoa. Okay, this is really weird. What's that say? Royal Portality Dock T6 services. The M5. Ah. Okay, well the M5 is indeed a real motorway. It's a thing that exists. I know that. I've been there. There are lots of cars. And I don't remember there ever being like a beach by the side of the M6. Also, I'm not sure, but last time I checked, it wasn't underwater. I don't know. I could be wrong though. You might want to Google it. Whoa. Okay, we're back to reality. Come on, man. Come on. That's it. There we go. Wow. Sorry, I'm not really saying anything too groundbreaking. The commentary isn't exactly amazing, but this game really takes your breath away. The music is incredible. It just fits the environment so perfectly. Oh man. I tell you, I'm glad that these guys are making the new Amnesia game, because they can do atmosphere bang on. There's a lot of AAA games try to get this sort of atmosphere down, but they never really do a great job of it. I'd say Skyrim and Far Cry have really been the only games I've ever played that have really been able to make massively lush tropical locations that look a lot more magical than the brown and bleh, horrible built-up environments you see in games all the time. Here we go. Back from the loading screen. And yeah, we're out of the caves. Yeah, I think this is the final leg of the game, guys. There's a tent here. Throughout the game, we've kept finding settlements somewhere. So obviously there are other people living here. But whether these are the tents of the main character, or maybe there's someone or something else on the island. This game's very mysterious. I'm sure all our questions will be answered once
the
we find
moon over the Sanford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
Okay. Well, he gave us a bit more description of Donnelly. And the man, or possibly a woman, responsible for the death of his, even though he has referred to Donnelly as he. Well, you know. It's a new world. It could have possibly been she and a he. And that's okay. Something.
Dear Esther, I find each step harder and heavier. I drag Donnelly's corpse on my back across these rocks, and all I hear are his whispers of guilt, his reminders, his burnt letters, his neatly folded clothes. He tells me I was not drunk at all.
Okay, so that wasn't the main character there. Someone else had found... Whoa. Okay. I'm starting to think that maybe this island isn't real. Well done, claps for Kieran. Praygon, even, god damn it. But I'm starting to think, because the way those medical supplies that were there, and oh, there's the tower. There's medical supplies were there, and there's been all these things that shouldn't be here. I think this is sort of a purgatory from the main character that he's walking through. Maybe in his mind, or maybe literally. Maybe he's dead, and this is his purgatory. He's walking through it. And those medical supplies there represent the time that he was saying he was in hospital. Or maybe when Esther was taken to hospital and they tried desperately to save her life. There's all these photos around as well. That looks like a cracked photo of a woman with the face scratched out. Yeah, I think it's Esther. And then we have the chemical symbol for alcohol again. Again, foreshadowing to the whole car crash. Now I just have to find out where I actually have to go next. Ah, okay. Follow the candles. That's always a good idea. Especially if you're playing Silent Hill. Fucking candles. Here we have... Whoa. I don't want it, you can have it. Pieces of a car. What does it mean?
There were chemical diagrams on the posters on the walls on the waiting room. It seemed appropriate at the time. Still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
Man, this gets bleak. I was hoping as we move through the island it would... Wow. That is nice. Well, I was hoping as we moved through the island it'd cheer up a little bit, old chap. I don't know, take in the nice scenery, have a holiday, we'd go home revised, refreshed.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Oh, okay. That probably has some kind of symbolism to it, but I'm not quite sure what. A lot of the symbolism, I must admit, is slightly lost on me. But that doesn't matter, because it sounds cool. The Hollywood theory. It doesn't matter if your symbolism is complete bullshit as long as it sounds cool. Oh. Yeah, I've played enough RPG games to know all about cheesy ass bullshit symbolism and so that. Kingdom Hearts, as awesome of a game as it is, I absolutely love it to bits.
A sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal. As I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, all my mind as a buzz passed.
Okay, so as I was saying, the Kingdom Hearts series especially is so guilty of having so much bad writing in it in places. The light of the heart of the dark of the heartness of the light of the heart of the heart of the darkness. The reason we must regain our hearts. But why, man, sex? It's cool. Roll with it. Yeah. Oh, enough of my rambling. Someone's singing. Okay.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Okay. Well, guys, I think I'm going to make this episode a long one, actually. And we're going to finish it in this one. So by the looks of it, I am within a gnat's whisker of that tower now. So it'd be pointless to end the episode here and then continue it on. So we're going to keep going. And as he was proceeding on his journey... Proceeding? It had a Y in it. You will have to bear with me. I'm slightly dyslexic. And we come near to death. Okay, or maybe another thing is this character you're playing as, none of this stuff is real. And he mentioned earlier he broke his leg.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Oh, I'm starting to see a link here with the story. Earlier on, he mentioned a hermit that died of fever. I think Donnelly, dealing with his guilt of killing Esther, retreated to this island, became a hermit here, and then perished of syphilis.
There are headlights reflected in these retinas. Too long in the tunnels of my island without a bottom. The sea creatures have risen to the surface, but the gulls are not here to carry them back to their nests. I've become fixed, open and staring, an eye turned on itself. I've become an infected leg whose tracking lines form a perfect map of the junctions of the M5. I will take the exit at mid-thigh and plummet to my Esther.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I reckon he said he had an infected leg. I think he's injected himself with morphine or something. He's become delirious. And he's either imagining all this while he's in some kind of stupor as he's dying, or he's making his way up the mountain, which would explain why we move so slow, with his broken leg. And he plans to throw himself off the tower. And all of this stuff is in his mind. He's seeing it all, and it's bringing back, like, memories. And as he's going on, and as the infection is becoming worse and worse, and he's slowly, like, getting closer and closer to death, his mind is just deteriorating.
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not stars-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus.
Okay, yeah, the main character is definitely losing it. I think there he was talking about how he's starting to realise that all this magical symbolism he's put to these characters is bullshit. It's just been his way of, like... Whoa, what is that? There's a guy in a cloak. Whoa. I saw him earlier. He was the guy that ran past the window at the very start, and he was also the shepherd. He walked into a house. Could that...
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air. White lines etched into these rocks.
Could that possibly be Donnelly, the hermit?
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings.
Here we go,
my
guys.
books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Guys, that was Dear Esther. I sincerely hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I mean, it was a nice break from playing a really tense and action-packed games. But if you can, guys, definitely pick this up on Steam. I think it's pretty cheap. I got it on sale during the Steam summer sale for about £4, £3, I think. It was a while ago now. But just definitely check it out. It's an experience you really have to feel for yourself.